Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the shocking possibility that the man claiming to be Nathan West isn't who he appears to be, but rather his sinister sibling Peter August in disguise after a dramatic transformation. Imagine the twists unfolding in Port Charles, where resurrections and secret identities have long been the soap's signature thrill, and this latest return of a beloved detective raises eyebrows higher than ever before. Fans have speculated wildly since Nathan's supposed reappearance, drawing parallels to the show's storied history of characters cheating death in the most elaborate ways possible. What if this isn't a genuine miracle but a calculated scheme by one of the most cunning villains to ever grace our screens, using cutting-edge procedures to steal his brother's life? This theory dives deep into the layers of deception that General Hospital thrives on, blending family secrets with high-stakes intrigue that could shatter alliances across the town. First, let's confront the elephant in the room. Peter August's death was supposed to be final, an explosive end in 2022 that left viewers cheering for justice after his reign of terror. Yet, in the unpredictable world of ABC General Hospital, finality is just an illusion, as evidenced by countless characters who have clawed their way back from the grave with plot armor thicker than a winter coat. Take Caesar Faison, Peter's own father, whose multiple deaths involved fiery crashes, poisonings, and betrayals, only for him to resurface like a bad penny, manipulating events from the shadows time and again. Even more recently, Britt Westbourne's heartbreaking battle with Huntington's disease led to what seemed like her permanent farewell in 2023, complete with tearful goodbyes and a funeral that tugged at every heartstring, until hints of her survival emerged, proving once more that no coffin can contain the drama in Port Charles. These precedents aren't accidents. They're the lifeblood of the show, allowing writers to recycle fan favorites and inject fresh chaos into ongoing sagas, much like how Nathan himself met his untimely end in 2018 during a heroic standoff, only to now hover on the edge of revival. If history teaches us anything, it's that a villain like Peter, with his unquenchable thirst for power and redemption, wouldn't let a little thing like mortality stop him from rewriting his legacy. Now, enter Britt Westbourne, Nathan's fiercely protective sister, whose subtle reactions to his return are dripping with suspicion and unspoken dread, as if she's peering through a veil of familiarity into something profoundly wrong. Spoilers tease that Britt's unease stems from a gut feeling that this Nathan lacks the spark of the man she once knew, perhaps sensing the absence of his trademark warmth amid the cold calculation lurking beneath. As his sibling, Britt shares not just blood but a lifetime of memories, from childhood antics in Europe to the shared trauma of their father's villainous shadow, making her the ultimate litmus test for authenticity. Why else would she hesitate, her eyes narrowing in conversations that should be joyous reunions, hinting at knowledge buried deeper than any family secret? This discomfort could signal that she's piecing together clues others overlook, a slight change in mannerisms, an unfamiliar scar hidden under clothing, or even a fleeting accent that betrays Peter's European roots. In a show where sibling bonds drive epic confrontations, Britt's internal conflict adds a layer of psychological tension, forcing her to weigh loyalty against the fear that exposing the truth might unravel the fragile peace she's fought so hard to maintain. Adding fuel to this fire is the impeccably timed amnesia plaguing the returned Nathan, a blank canvas erasing 7 pivotal years from 2018 onward, leaving him adrift in a sea of forgotten connections and unresolved mysteries. This selective memory wipe isn't just dramatic convenience, it's a masterstroke for evasion, allowing Nathan to sidestep probing questions about his death, his undercover operations, or the intimate vows exchanged with Maxie Jones on their wedding day. Picture the heartbreak. Maxie, still grieving the father of her child, reaches for shared recollections of late-night stakeouts or tender moments with baby James, only to meet a vacant stare that crushes her hopes anew. Similarly, Dante Falconeri, Nathan's trusted partner in the PCPD, finds no echo of their hard-won camaraderie from busting crime rings or navigating personal demons together. This void creates an emotional chasm, ripe for exploitation by someone versed in forging false narratives, and who better than Peter, whose life was a tapestry of fabricated identities. From his days as the severed branch operative to the intricate web he spun around Drew Kane's captivity, Peter's expertise in psychological manipulation turns this amnesia into a shield, letting him rebuild trust brick by deceptive brick without the baggage of his past sins. Peter August wasn't born a monster. He was sculpted by rejection and ambition, his character arc a chilling study in how lies become lifelines in the cutthroat arena of Port Charles espionage. Early on, he posed as a mild-mannered journalist, but his true colors emerged in orchestrating Jason Morgan's 5-year imprisonment in Russia, a plot that involved encrypted messages, double agents, and a network of shady contacts spanning continents. He didn't stop there. Framing Sam McCall for murder required forging documents, planting evidence in her home, and even bribing witnesses, all while maintaining a facade of charm that fooled even the savviest detectives. Peter's crowning deception was his obsession with infiltrating the Quartermaine and Scorpio families, using blackmail tapes and hidden agendas to claw his way into acceptance he craved but never earned. Invent a new twist. What if during his death, Peter uncovered a black market clinic specializing in identity overhauls, funded by remnants of Faison's old empire, allowing him to not just change his face but implant microsuggestions to mimic Nathan's speech patterns and quirks? This depth of cunning makes him the perfect candidate to pull off the ultimate switch, turning brotherly rivalry into a personal takeover that echoes the show's themes of inherited darkness. No discussion of identity swaps on General Hospital would be complete without revisiting the soap's long-standing affair with plastic surgery as a narrative wildcard, a device that's rescued ratings and revived icons more times than we can count. The gold standard remains the 1990s return of Duke Lavery, beloved mobster turned district attorney, who was revealed to be Caesar Faison after a surgical makeover that included jaw restructuring and eye color alteration to match Duke's rugged features perfectly. Fast forward to the modern era, and the Jason Morgan/Drew Kane saga took it to sci-fi levels, with memory implants and facial reconstructions blurring the lines between twins separated by experimentation, leading to courtroom battles and emotional reckonings that spanned years. Don't forget Helena Cassadine's cryogenic revivals or the numerous facelifts among the Spencers, where a quick clinic visit in Switzerland could erase decades or assume a new persona overnight. In this context, Peter undergoing a procedure to adopt Nathan's boyish grin, piercing blue eyes, and athletic build isn't far-fetched, it's routine, perhaps even sourced from the same shady surgeons who aided Anna Devane's past covert ops. Add inventive flair. Suppose Peter enhanced the surgery with AI-driven simulations, practicing Nathan's gait and gestures in a hidden lair, ensuring his impersonation fools even biometric scans at the hospital. This trope isn't lazy writing, it's a canvas for exploring themes of self-invention and the fragility of truth in a town built on facades. At the heart of this conspiracy lies Peter's insatiable hunger for the family he was denied, a motive rooted in his lonely upbringing under Faison's iron fist and amplified by stolen glimpses of Nathan's idyllic life with Maxie and their son. By stepping into Nathan's shoes, Peter doesn't just gain a new face, he inherits adoration from a community that mourned the original hero, from Felicia Scanton's maternal hugs to Robert Scorpio's reluctant respect. Envision the long game. Starting with sympathetic nods at the Quartermaine mansion, Nathan could maneuver into Maxie's heart, rekindling a romance laced with fabricated nostalgia, all while bonding with young James over invented father-son tales of bravery. Peter's villainy always circled back to this void. His attempts to claim Maxie as his own post-Nathan's death were desperate bids for normalcy, thwarted by her unwavering love for the real deal. Now, as the prodigal son returned, he positions himself as the redemption arc Port Charles craves, whispering sweet nothings that echo Nathan's poetry while plotting to sideline rivals like Dante or even Austin Holt, who might sniff out the fraud. This scheme's brilliance lies in its emotional leverage. Peter gets the white picket fence without the work, transforming rejection into belonging through sheer audacity. Tying it all together is the enigmatic care package Britt received, stocked with rare Huntington's treatments monogrammed with a cryptic C, which could stand for Cassadine connections or, more tantalizingly, Peter's covert signature as cousin to his half-sibling. These vials aren't random charity, they're lifelines doled out strategically, perhaps smuggled from overseas labs where Peter evaded capture by posing as a pharmaceutical exec. Britt's hesitation around Nathan screams coercion. Imagine the deal struck in a dimly lit safehouse, silence for survival, with Peter threatening to cut off the supply if she utters a word about his surgical rebirth. Or deepen the intrigue with a collaborative angle. What if Britt, desperate to extend her time on Earth, helped orchestrate the switch, providing DNA samples and family lore to perfect the disguise, binding them in a pact of mutual destruction? This blackmail elevates the stakes, turning Britt into a reluctant accomplice whose every uneasy glance risks exposure, while Peter's control over her health ensures loyalty in a web of dependency. Such a dynamic adds moral complexity, forcing Britt to navigate her brother's return as both savior and serpent. Ultimately, this outlandish hypothesis captures the essence of General Hospital's magic, a blend of absurdity and plausibility that keeps us glued, where a villain's vanity project could upend the Quartermaine dynasty or ignite a Scorpio family feud of epic proportions. From the drawing rooms of the Metro Court to the sterile halls of GH, the ripples of this deception would expose old wounds, forge unlikely alliances, and deliver twists that rival the nurse's ball's grandest reveals. While the show has pulled off memory scrambles, captivity horrors, and Phazon-level boomerangs that defy logic, a Peter-Nathan fusion fits seamlessly into its playbook of reinvention. As fans, we live for these fever dreams, dissecting every clue from Brit's furrowed brow to Nathan's evasive smiles, wondering if Port Charles is on the brink of its most diabolical homecoming yet. Next, we will learn about the thrilling developments set to unfold in Port Charles for the week of October 20th, 2025. Excitement is building as familiar faces collide in unexpected ways, drawing viewers deeper into the intricate web of drama that defines this beloved ABC soap opera. From heartfelt reconnections to courtroom battles and hidden temptations, the upcoming episodes promise twists that will leave fans buzzing with anticipation and speculation about where loyalties truly lie. Lulu's heated debate with Lucas Jones. Shifting gears from reconciliation to confrontation, Lulu Spencer finds herself locked in a fiery debate with Lucas Jones, a clash that highlights the personal stakes and ethical dilemmas rippling through their social circles. This argument erupts unexpectedly during a casual gathering at the Quartermaine mansion, where Lulu, fresh from her encounter with Nathan, voices strong opinions on family secrets and the dangers of withholding truth in a town as gossipy as Port Charles. Lucas, drawing from his own experiences with hidden identities and medical crises in his life, pushes back fiercely, arguing that some revelations could shatter fragile bonds irreparably, perhaps alluding to his surrogacy history or recent health scares that have made him overly protective. As the debate intensifies, Lulu challenges Lucas on his reluctance to confront certain family members about past deceptions, inventing a new element where she accuses him of enabling a cover-up related to a long-buried Jones family scandal involving adoption papers that never surfaced. The exchange grows personal, with raised voices echoing through the opulent halls, and Lucas countering that Lulu's journalistic zeal often blinds her to the human cost of exposure, citing examples from her own tumultuous divorces and custody battles. This verbal showdown not only strains their friendship but also foreshadows broader conflicts, as bystanders like Felicia Scorpio overhear snippets, potentially fueling town-wide whispers that could escalate into full-blown investigations by week's end. Fans tuning in will relish the raw authenticity of the scene, complete with close-up shots of furrowed brows and gesturing hands, underscoring how debates like this propel the soap's timeless theme of truth versus loyalty. Alexis Davis grapples with temptation. Meanwhile, Alexis Davis navigates a precarious path of temptation that tests her moral compass and professional integrity in ways that could upend her carefully rebuilt life. Fresh off the narrow escape from exposure when Cody Bell orchestrated Rick Lansing's release from custody, Alexis now faces the fallout of their pact, where Rick has pledged to fabricate an elaborate cult involvement story to shield his actions from scrutiny, even deceiving his daughter, Molly Lansing Davis, who remains blissfully unaware of the web being spun around her. In a newly expanded sequence, Alexis encounters Rick at a dimly lit bar on the outskirts of town, where he slides an encrypted USB drive across the table, containing falsified documents that could exonerate them both but demand her silence on a related corporate fraud tied to ELQ Industries. The temptation intensifies as Alexis weighs the allure of this easy out against her ingrained sense of justice, perhaps flashing back to an invented moment from her early law career where a similar ethical lapse cost her a mentorship, heightening her internal turmoil. As the conversation unfolds, Rick appeals to their shared history of risky alliances, suggesting that one more lie could secure Molly's future inheritance, but Alexis senses the noose tightening with every word, wondering if Cody's involvement hints at deeper manipulations by unseen forces in Port Charles. This arc delves into Alexis's psyche, portraying her pacing her office late at night, torn between shredding the evidence or using it to bargain for leverage, ultimately teasing a decision that might involve confiding in an unlikely ally like Diane Miller. Nathan West and Lulu Spencer's emotional reunion. The week kicks off with a poignant moment between Nathan West and Lulu Spencer, two characters whose paths have crossed dramatically in the past, now poised for a genuine reconnection that could reshape their futures in Port Charles. Viewers will remember the chaos surrounding Nathan's recent car crash, a high-stakes incident where Lulu, acting on pure instinct, dialed 911 without even realizing the identity of the injured driver due to the shadowy conditions of the night. As Nathan emerges from his hospital recovery, looking determined yet vulnerable with bandages still faintly visible on his arm, he steps back into the world declaring his intent to reclaim every piece of his disrupted life, starting with expressing profound gratitude to the woman who saved him. Imagine the scene, Nathan tracking Lulu down at her favorite coffee spot near the Metro Court, his voice steady but eyes filled with unspoken emotion as he thanks her for that fateful call, perhaps even revealing a small token from his hospital stay, like a scribbled note he wrote during his delirium, hinting at dreams of second chances. This encounter isn't just a simple thank you, it evolves into a deeper conversation where Lulu, ever the inquisitive journalist at heart, probes Nathan about his immediate plans. Will he dive back into police work, confront old enemies, or seek solace in quieter pursuits? Their dialogue crackles with tension, blending nostalgia from their shared history of investigations and close calls, potentially sparking rumors of a budding alliance or even romantic undercurrents that fans have long speculated about. Adding layers to this reunion, Nathan shares a newly invented detail about a mysterious text he received during his coma-like state, suggesting someone close to Lulu might have been involved in the crash's prelude, planting seeds of intrigue that could tie into larger conspiracies lurking in the shadows of Port Charles. Willow Tate's devastating courtroom ordeal. The courtroom drama reaches fever pitch with Willow Tate's arraignment, delivering a shocker that reverberates through the Corinthos and Reeves families. As proceedings unfold in the stern confines of the Port Charles courthouse, Nathan West makes a dramatic entrance, cornering Nina Reeves in the hallway to implore her to accept the plea deal before irreversible damage occurs, his words laced with urgency drawn from his own brushes with the law. Willow, poised and resolute in a tailored suit that belies her inner anxiety, receives crushing news from the judge: no bail or bond granted, citing flight risk factors amplified by her ties to powerful figures like the Corinthoses, leaving her to face potential incarceration as the gavel falls. In a preview glimpse, Drew Kane stands bewildered outside, muttering to reporters about the injustice of how Willow's past decisions, including her secret nursing of Harmony Miller, have snowballed into this nightmare, igniting online fan debates about systemic biases in the show's justice system. Michael Corinthos, lurking in the shadows of the proceedings, receives a stark order from Dante Falconeri to surrender himself voluntarily, as evidence mounts linking him to Willow's predicament through fabricated alibis that now crumble under scrutiny. By Friday's episodes, Willow meets her newly assigned attorney, a sharp-minded newcomer with a reputation for overturning impossible cases, who hints at a defense strategy involving suppressed medical records from Willow's deception days. This multi-layered shocker not only heightens suspense but invites viewers to ponder the long-term ripples, such as how prolonged separation might strain Willow and Michael's marriage or expose Nina's lingering guilt. Jordan Ashford's puzzle and Portia's secret. Commissioner Jordan Ashford emerges as the keen detective piecing together elusive clues, her investigation possibly centering on Portia Robinson's undisclosed pregnancy that promises to stir familial upheaval. In expanded scenes, Jordan pores over surveillance footage in her office, connecting dots from recent hospital logs to whispers of Portia's morning sickness episodes, inventing a new twist where an anonymous tip from a nurse implicates Curtis Ashford in covering up fertility treatments gone awry. As Jordan confronts Portia in a tense hospital corridor chat, the doctor's evasive responses only fuel suspicions, potentially linking back to broader medical ethics scandals at GH. Kai Taylor's apology and on-screen future. Kai Taylor extends yet another heartfelt apology to Curtis Ashford, straining to mend bridges amid personal regrets, though whispers from production credits indicate the actor's departure from the contract roster, a bittersweet blow for fans rooting for his chemistry with Trina Robinson. Picture Kai approaching Curtis at the gym, sweat-drenched and sincere, referencing an invented prior betrayal involving a botched business deal that cost Curtis financially, pleading for forgiveness to salvage their mentor-mentee dynamic. Trina, overhearing, grapples with divided loyalties, her emotional turmoil adding depth to scenes that celebrate the duo's vibrant energy while hinting at recasting possibilities. Tracy Quartermain's escalating feud. Tracy Quartermain's ongoing skirmish with Veronica Ronnie Bard intensifies into a full-scale battle, with barbs flying over corporate takeovers and personal vendettas that threaten ELQ's stability. In heightened drama, Tracy uncovers Ronnie's scheme to sabotage a Quartermain charity gala through forged invitations, leading to a showdown in the boardroom where Tracy wields her wit like a weapon, exposing Ronnie's fabricated credentials from a rival firm. This feud's escalation could draw in Ned Quartermain, forcing alliances that redefine power plays within the iconic family empire. Valentine Cassidy's unexpected encounter. Valentine Cassidy comes face-to-face with a startling figure from his enigmatic past, a revelation that unravels layers of his Cassidy heritage in unforeseen directions. The encounter happens serendipitously at the Cassidy Estate's library, where Valentine discovers dusty letters addressed to him, unveiling an invented illegitimate sibling who arrives unannounced, claiming ties to the family's Russian roots and demanding a share of hidden assets. Shocked yet calculating, Valentine navigates the confrontation with charm masking suspicion, potentially allying or clashing in ways that echo the Cassidy's storied betrayals. Carly Spencer's controversial mercy. Carly Spencer extends an unexpected lifeline to Jack Brennan, offering him an escape route despite his prior assault on Jocelyn Jacks, a move that baffles onlookers and tests Carly's forgiving nature. In a charged motel room meeting, Carly, motivated by her own history of redemption arcs, provides Jack with a burner phone and directions to a safe house, inventing a detail where she reveals shared enemies from Brennan's WSB days that now threaten her businesses. Jocelyn, learning of this later, confronts her mother in a tearful outburst, highlighting generational rifts over justice and survival in Port Charles. Cody Bell's new professional venture. Cody Bell steps into a fresh chapter by meeting his prospective employer, an opportunity that could steer him away from rodeo troubles toward corporate intrigue. The interview unfolds at a sleek office overlooking the harbor, where Cody impresses with his roguish tales, securing a role in event security for a high-profile firm, complete with an invented perk of access to insider gossip that ties into Max Scorpio's investigations. This shift promises growth for Cody, blending his physical prowess with newfound ambition. Brooke Lynn Quartermain's mixed emotions. Finally, Brooke Lynn Quartermain absorbs bittersweet news that blends joy with underlying sorrow, reshaping her path in both love and career spheres. Delivered via an elegant envelope at the Quartermain boathouse, the tidings reveal a music label offer shadowed by the passing of a distant relative, prompting Brooke Lynn to reflect on legacy while celebrating with Harrison Chase. The emotional duality sets up poignant monologues, where she vows to honor her roots through soaring performances ahead. These spoilers encapsulate a week of non-stop excitement on ABC General Hospital, blending heart, betrayal, and redemption in classic fashion. Don't miss a moment.